my fuck up to your advantage. Since I fucked up the Zoom, you get your own personalized little dog training video. Okay, so first, we're gonna talk about a couple of things first and foremost. We are gonna talk about pack drive first before we get into anything, because I think it's very, very important for you to understand pack drive and how I use it in conjunction with the long line. So dogs are always in 3 instinctual drives at any given moment. They can either be in prey drive, which is super obvious, think indie, lots of prey, want to go after things, highly aroused type of energy, actively hunting, pouncing, even play can be considered prey drive, but play actually can be all 3 drives. The pauses in play is like pack drive, and the fighting, sparring behavior is more like defense drive. So we talked a little bit about prey, now let's talk about pack and defense drive. Pack drive is when the dog is connected with you. They're checking in with you, they're hanging out by you. It's your time that you're cuddling with your dog on the couch. It's just when your dog and you are connected and you're vibing out and you're like, we got a thing going. We understand each other in this moment. Now the other drive is defense drive, and that can either be fight, flight, or freeze. So generally we talk a lot about the fight and the flight behavior. The freeze is kind of, it happens in the moment and it's very brief, so we don't really focus a whole lot on like getting them into a freeze behavior. We either are going to put them into flight, which is obvious, running away, or fight, where they want to go into something and go after it, defend themselves, right? So when I'm using a long line, my goal is to allow the dog to feel whatever emotion they want, to feel whatever drive they feel like going into. And my goal is always to pull them back into pack drive. And I may go through prey drive to do that. I may go through defense, flight, or fight. Usually not fight, but sometimes it happens. But we will put dogs into flight so that we can work them out of it. So think of a dog that's really anxious, and say you're taking them into an environment that's overwhelming to them, right? Say you take them in to a park and there's like a lot of things going on and they're overwhelmed and they feel like flighting away. That's where the 15-foot leash comes in to play. Like, you are going to allow them to flight out into that flighty behavior, and then we're gonna recall them back into pack drive. Now, the goal is to help your dog feel better about being next to you. Teaching them that it feels more comfortable to hang out by the human rather than out there doing all the things. Now, this differs from regular leash handling because we tend to want to control more in regular leash handling, and the goal is to get the dog into a heel position. I don't really care so much about the heel position anymore. I care about their mindset. Are they in follow mode? A dog could be following me and in pack drive and still be up ahead of me, okay? When I have the dogs out in the pack, they are switching between prey drive and pack drive. They are always have an ear on me, okay? So they are always in pack drive. So even if they're out in the field prey driving away, doing their own thing, they're still connected to me. I could turn and walk the other way, and you know what? They will pick up on it and move with me. That's because we have developed a really strong pack drive with the pack and our relationship that we have with them. So let's talk a little bit more about the handling of this beautiful leash here. Okay, so when I'm working with the 15-foot long line, I want to be able to drop the leash and reel in the leash quickly, right? So the best way to do that, and this is Brian Agnew's way of teaching, is to loop the handle on your index finger into your middle finger, whatever you feel is like your super secure hand, loop it on that. So that, like, we're not wrapping your wrist or anything like that. We don't want you to fucking break your wrist. So hold it like so. I prefer it on my index finger. And the reason why is if your dog were to pull at the very end of it, you can brace it against your chest like this, and it's not gonna be the pull like that if your arm is, you know what I'm saying? Your arm is extended out like that. And if you see, I'm kind of like looping the long line over my fingers. I'm not like holding it tight. It's just like barely there so that I can drop it at any given moment. It's not going to be tangled, and I can loop it back up without it being tangled. So when I'm putting a slip lead on a dog, come here, Meadow. Good girl. I want it to be high up and behind their ears. Come here. So high up behind the ears, push the stopper down so I give about an inch or two give so that they can actually feel the pressure being applied and the pressure being released, okay? Oh my God, my cat is clear up in the tree. That's not smart, kitty. Okay, so when we are doing the figure 8, come here, Meadow. You gotta turn around. Yes. We're gonna make a really big loop, like so, okay? I hope you can see this. I'm gonna back up. Hey! Fucking fence drive, I tell you. Come here. Nope. Turn around. Over here. Sit. Thank you. Okay, so we make a really big loop. Meadow. Stop. We put it over their head, and we're gonna twist to make the figure 8. And it goes over the nose. And then we put, I like to center the stopper because it gets a little weird with the mountain dog if it's off to the side. So I like to center it behind their head. And you can see there's no pressure on the trachea. I do also have a safety clip that I use when I'm actively using this leash, because if the dog paws it off or anything like that, then you are still connected. Your dog is still connected. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of leash drills with her, but she's not going to put on much pressure because she knows this game, so we'll see. Okay, so she sees my cat's over there, so I'm gonna let her go. What is that? What is it? See what I mean? She's like, where are you going? I'm in pack drive. So I will be able to get a better demo of this when I work with the dog on Friday. That's not completely connected to me. She's going into fight on my leash. She's a little shithead, aren't you? Okay, so I hope that was helpful, and then I will get another video for you on Friday. Bye! I have to go save my cat now. She's like in the tree crying. Look at her. Okay, she's moving around. She was on this branch right here.